just wait till I catch you in the dark corner. You will get the damn good beating.
Hey friends, so I am back with another video, and today is the long anticipated how I edit my Instagram photos. I have been putting this video off for a very long time for the sole reason that I think it's a boring video and I will probably fall asleep while editing, but you guys have been requesting this like crazy, so you gotta do what you gotta do. So basically in this video, I'm just going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to get a nice Instagram feed, and then I'm also going to show you guys the apps and techniques that I use when I edit my photos. So I'm just going to kick things off with my tips and advice. I don't have that many. They're probably tips that you've heard before, but I'm just going to share them with you guys anyways. So tip number one is the most cliche of them all, and it is to be yourself. When it comes to social media and Instagram, it's really easy to pretend you're someone you're not and take photos and copy photos and do all these things simply for likes and followers. So make sure that you're being yourself and that you're posting photos that you enjoy, taking photos that express yourself and who you are and what your interests are, and make sure that your feed is unique and it's original and it's you. Because you're probably going to attract a lot more attention by being original and being yourself and posting unique content than you would by pretending you're someone you're not or by copying popular Instagram feeds just to fit in. My second piece of advice is to find a theme. You can do that by simply putting the same filter on every photo, or you could do that by having a color scheme that ties all of your photos together. For example, my color scheme is white, so all of my photos have white in them. Usually it's the background. If you wanted your feed to have a green color scheme, then you could do that by simply having a green background, wearing a green shirt when you take a selfie, or having lots of plants in your photos, and doing that will make your whole feed kind of tie together and match. And my third and final tip is lighting. Lighting is everything when it comes to taking a good photo. It doesn't even matter if you have a fancy camera or not. I don't. I just use my iPhone 5C, and it's a pretty basic camera, but I always get people asking me how I get my photos so crisp and so clear looking, and that is all because of the lighting. And the best lighting that you can find is natural light. Indirect but bright sunlight is the best lighting that you can find when it comes to taking photos. Also, if you want your photos to turn out really crisp and clear, try not to move too much when you take the photo. I think that one's kind of a given though. I do that by holding my breath while I take my photos, but 0 out of 10 would recommend. Probably not a good idea. So now that I have covered my tips and advice, I'm just going to jump into the apps and techniques that I use when I edit my photos. My editing process is pretty simple. I only have 2 apps that I use, and those are Picsart and Afterlight. I think Afterlight costs money. I'm pretty sure it was 99 cents, but worth it. So the first thing that I do when editing a photo for Instagram is I open up Afterlight and I choose the photo that I am going to edit. So once I have my photo up, the first thing that I do is adjust the settings. I don't typically use filters on my Instagram photos. I just adjust saturation, exposure, and everything like that. And that is how I get my photos to have a similar look. So in Afterlight, I am just going to the adjust settings, and once I am there, I will usually turn up the brightness on the photo. Sometimes I like to turn down the contrast a little bit, and I always turn the saturation down because I don't like my photos to look too colorful. And then I will sharpen the photo a little bit. And I don't really have specific settings for the adjustments. I just kind of eyeball it for each photo until it looks the way that I want it to look. So once the adjustments are done, I will usually go in and add dust filters and lens flares because those are my favorite, if you couldn't tell by my Instagram feed and my YouTube videos. So to do that, I am just going to this little film button and I am going to Dusty, and I always use number 2 because it's my favorite one. And I don't adjust it at all, I just put it on there. And then I will go back to the film button, go to light leak, and I usually just play around with the light leaks. Sometimes I'll add 1, sometimes I'll add 3. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. But one of my favorite light leaks to use is number 7. So I'll just put that on there, adjust it the way I want it, adjust the color and the opacity. Once I'm done with that, I will save it, and that is typically a finished Instagram photo for me. But I know a lot of people have been really curious on how I get my rainbow lens flares on my photos, so I'm just going to show you guys how I do that as well. I'm sure that Afterlight has a rainbow lens flare that you can buy, but if you don't want to buy it and you just want to do it for free like I do, then I will show you how. So the first step to getting a rainbow lens flare is going to Google or Pinterest and looking up rainbow lens flares and finding one that you would want to use on your photo. You want the rainbow lens flare to have a solid black or a solid white background. If it has a colored background or anything like that, then it's probably not going to show up too well on the photo. So try and find one that has a solid black or solid white background. I am using this one. So once you've found your lens flare and saved it to your phone, you are going to open up the photo that you want to edit in Picsart. Then you are going to want to go to Add Photo and add your lens flare. Once your lens flare is added, it should look something like this. Then what you're going to want to do is go to the bottom corner where it says Normal, click that, and click Screen. Typically, Screen is the button that you'd want to press to get your overlay transparent, but it's different for every photo, so you might have to play around and click a few of the different ones. Sometimes the one that will get your photo transparent is Overlay, or sometimes it is Multiply or Darken or Lighten. Just click through them until you find whatever one turns that overlay transparent, and then you're good to go. Then all you need to do is adjust it the way you want it on the photo, and once you have that done, hit the check mark, save your photo, and it's done. And I do this exact same process when I want different overlays like writing on my photos. So I will just choose the photo that I want to edit, then I will go to Add Photo, find the overlay of writing or whatever else that I want to use, select that one, and then when it's on my screen, I will turn it transparent by going to the bottom corner and selecting Screen or Multiply or one of the buttons that will turn the photo transparent. And once it's transparent, I'll just adjust it on the photo until it looks the way I want it to look. Then I save it, and that is that. It's a pretty simple process. And that is it. That is how I edit my Instagram photos. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to just have fun with your Instagram feed and take photos that you like and be yourself. Till next time, stay groovy. Bye.
I fuck so